Hey guys, it's Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a cool little card game called Underleague. Underleague is a 2 to 5 player game where players are taking on the roles of these beasties, and they're trying to use these beasties with certain kinds of special equipment that they're putting on them to be the first person to hit 20 points by defeating other people's beasties. There's more to it than that, but that's a quick overview. Let's go down to the table, see how it plays. Alright, so here is a game of Underleague set up mostly for a 2-player game. To get started with setup, each player is going to get their own identical 30-card creature deck, which are going to have creatures that look something like this. I'll explain those once we get into it. There are 6 dice. There's 2 different colors. Stop doing that. There's 2 different colors. There aren't enough if there's more than 2 players, but for now there is. You're going to put the strategy deck in the middle, which has black backs. And you're going to give each player 5 betting chips, which are going to have a win side and a lose side. And I'll explain what that does in a bit. And then, before we get started, we have to draft our monsters. So, the way the draft works is kind of interesting. You're going to take 3 cards, and you're going to keep 1 and put the other 2 in the bottom. So the cards look something like this. So here are some cards. So you see it has a name on it. It has a daytime, how many dice you get to roll. It has nighttime, how many dice you get to roll. It has a point value. And some of them have special abilities. And the different colors are different types of creatures. So that only matters if you have 3 of the same type during a certain phase. You get to draw an extra strategy card. So in this case, I'm going to play this guy because it has a 3 and a 2. And the ability is pretty cool. So instead of betting once on a creature, this one allows me to bet up to 3 on one creature, which is pretty slick. So I'm going to keep that one. Let's keep that face down for now. Then these will go on the bottom. And then we're going to do this 2 more times. 1, 2, 3. So all these are 1s, and this is a 1. Ooh, let's take this. This is worth 4 points. It's probably not going to win a lot, but it's worth 4 points, so we'll keep that one. And then we'll do it one more time. And we are going to take this one because it's going to let me re-roll some dice after combat. You can see that down there in the bottom. And then the other ones are going to go in the bottom. And then we'll do the same for that guy. So let me just flip mine up. These would all be revealed at the same time, but just to save some time, I am going to flip mine now. And I'm going to do this player's randomly. So I'm going to take 3, and I'm going to pick 1, take 3, pick 1. All this stuff has been shuffled already. So just to make it a little more, like I don't know what the other player's doing, I'm going to play this one blindly. And they'll reveal. I'm going to face everything towards me so I can look at it a little better. I have 3 creatures. I'll spread them out a little bit. Alright. And then, now we're going to determine who goes first. To determine who goes first, it's going to be the player who has the most amount of points showing. So the black player is going to have 7. The red player has 6, so the lower goes first. To mark who goes first, I'm going to put the dice on top of the deck. All right, so they're first. All right, then normally you do pull in some of your betting chips off, but in the first round, each player is going to get to draw 5 of these cards, starting with the first player. All right, and I'll put those there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'll explain what these are when we get into the game. All right, so now we're going to start with the betting phase. So the way the betting phase works is you're going to take turns placing these betting chips on monsters. There are 2 restrictions. The first bet that you place has to be on one of your own creatures, and you're not allowed to place bets on the same character twice. Unless you have this one guy out here that I have that's going to let me do that. So, yeah. So this player is going to start. They're going to bet on... This one seems pretty legit. They think they can win there. So they're going to bet that that one's going to win. I'll put it up here so I don't cover up stuff. This player feels like they can win with this guy. This player thinks this one's going to lose, so they'll mark that one for me. I think this one may lose. Okay, then they're going to pick, they want something else to win. So they're going to go ahead and bet on this one to win. It may not win, but we'll see. I think this one's going to win. Let's see, they want some of mine to lose, so they're going to bet on this one to lose. I'm going to bet on this one to lose. I think I can make that happen. They're going to bet on, they're going to bet on this one to win. They think this one's going to win as well. And I think this one's going to win. All right, so there's the betting. We have two of the same bets on these two creatures. Everything else is betting differently, and these two only have one. All right, so now that we've betted, we're going to move on to combat. All right, so there are two things you can do during the combat phase. First thing is you can exhaust a creature. Say I would pick this creature. I can exhaust this creature, pick another creature I want to attack. Then we'll roll some dice, results from combat. If you win, you get some good stuff. If the defender wins, good stuff happens too. Second thing you're able to do is you can play a strategy card. So let me show you what some strategy cards look like. There are different kinds of strategy cards. There are schemes, which look like this, which are going to be play the card, do the action. There are going to be equipment cards as well, which is something like this. This is basically going to just be points, and you can see the 2 down at the bottom. So I could put this on a creature and it would be worth 2 points. And I think that's about it. So schemes and equipment. And if you see on this card, you can see the number in the top right. In order to play this card, I have to discard 2 other strategy cards from my hand. So that's how these cards work. These cards are also going to be used as victory points for when you win a battle. You're going to take one of these random cards, put it next to your deck, and that's going to add to your victory point total. You're trying to be the first person to get to 20 to win this game. And if you can do that, then you're the winner. All right, so this player's first. So they're going to go ahead and look at their cards. They have lots and lots of equipment. So they want to start getting some points. So they're going to play this. Some super shiny trinkets. So they're going to play that to a character. They have to discard one other one. So they'll discard this one. And then they'll play it to this one. It doesn't really matter unless some of the cards say what you can do. All right, so this one, after I play an equipment card and attach it to one of my creatures, I can draw a strategy card. So I played an equipment card, now I get to draw a new strategy card. All right, so now they are going to do some attacking. So let's show you how attacking works. They're going to attack with this one. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to exhaust it, and then they're going to pick which character they would like to fight. They want to fight this one. So the defender gets to pick daytime or nighttime. As you can see, some of the times it matters. Like this card has a 3 daytime and a 2 nighttime. So if I was defending, I'd want to pick daytime because I get to roll more dice. But in this case, it doesn't matter. It's all the same, so I'm just going to pick daytime. So the way the dice rolling works, if you have a 1, you get to roll the d6, which is this guy. If you have 2, you get to roll the d6 and the d4. If you have 3, you get to roll all 3 dice, which this is a d6, but it's only 1, 2, and 3. So this player gets to roll this die, and this one gets to roll 2, so they're going to roll their 6 and their 4. All right, nobody has any special powers that are going to do anything, so red's going to roll first. So they got 6. Let's see what they're going to get. If they tie, the tie goes to the defender. Nope, didn't get it. All right, so when the attacker wins, the loser has to exhaust their character. Whoever bet correctly on monsters wins. It gets to take their tokens back. So this one lost. I'll explain why that's important in a bit. This one won. I did lose, but at least I bet that one was going to win. And then the winner gets to take 1 victory card. So this was the attacker. It beat me. So it gets 1 victory card randomly. Well, not randomly, but don't look at it. Just put it face down. And that was the red player's turn. All right, so now it is the black player's turn. What do they want to do? They need to get some stuff out here. So they're going to play extra super shiny trinkets. It's going to give them 3 points. They're going to play it on this one. And I have to discard 2 cards for that. So I'll discard that and this. All right, so now I'm winning in points so far. Now I get to make a combat. So I'm going to attack with this one because this is going to let me re-roll some combat dice. And I'm going to attack this one. So that one doesn't have any attacking ability. So they're going to pick nighttime because that's going to let them roll 2 dice. I also have a 2, so I get to roll 2 dice. So I'm going to roll my 6 and my 4. So I got 9, which is a great roll. So let's see what they're going to get. Come on. They got 6. So this player wins. All right, so I was the attacker, so I win. So I get a victory point card. I said I was going to win, so I get my token back. I said this one was going to lose. I get my token back. And this one lost. When the defender loses, their card gets exhausted. And that was the black player's turn. All right, so now it's red player's turn. Let's see if they have anything they want to do that's fun. They're going to do this. They're going to play this. So that's going to let them pick a player. They're going to pick one of their tokens or their betting chips and flip it to the other side. And it's 0. You don't have to pay another card, so they're going to do that. And they're going to pick this one, and they're going to change this to a lose. Which may not be smart. Actually, I don't know if they want to do that. Because if they pick lose on there and it loses, no, they're not going to play that card. That's not going to help them. So they're not going to play any cards. So they're going to attack with this card. It's the only card they can attack with. They're going to attack this one because it has to be an active creature that you're attacking. I'm going to pick daytime because I have a 3. And that means I get to roll all my dice. They only get to roll 1, so they get to roll their d6. So unless I roll poorly, even if I roll completely poorly, I still win. So I got 6, 9, so I win. Okay, so they bet on me to win. I bet on myself to win. I bet on this one to lose, which it did. Because I won the combat, I don't get a victory point card because I'm the defender, but I don't have to exhaust myself. And then that is it. So it's back to me. I can't attack anything, but I can still play a strategy card if I would like to, which I'm going to. I'm going to play some super shiny trinkets to get some more points. So I want to put it down here. It costs me 1 card. Then this player, can they play any cards? Let's see. They can play 1 card, but they're not going to, so they pass. So now, then the black player has to pass because there's nothing they can do. So that's it. So now we're going to go to the cleanup. To clean up, we are going to do nothing else unless we have... No, I don't think we do anything else. Yeah, that's it. So now we're going to go back to the phase 1, which is the preseason. So the way that this works, we kind of showed it a little bit. We're going to start by calculating victory points. So these count as 1. The victory cards count as 1. So this player has 1, 3, 5, 9, 10, 13. They have 13 points out of 20 that they need to win. This player has 2, 5, 6, 8. So gray is definitely first. No, red is definitely first because they have the least amount of points. All right, next thing we're going to do is we are going to muster. This is the phase that we skipped because we didn't have any chips to pull back. So now we're going to do that. First thing you get to do during mustering is you get to unexhaust all of your creatures back to active. So let's do that. All right. Then you're going to draw cards from the strategy deck equal to how many chips you have in your pool based on victory. So starting with first player, they have 3, so they get to draw 3. If you ever have 8 or more cards, you don't get to draw any. I get to draw 5 because I won all of my chips, so that's awesome. All right. And then you're going to take, if you have 3 of the same creatures, which are the same colors, you get to draw an extra one. This player has 3 red ones, so they get to draw an extra one. Then you can collect all of your chips. So red's going to take back their other 2 chips. And now you have a choice you can make. You can transfer a creature, which means, what transfer means is take it from the stables, which is the playing area, put it on the bottom, draw 3 and keep 1, kind of like we did at the beginning. Or you can take 2 strategy cards out the top. Those are 2 choices that you get to do during preseason. So let's see. I am not going to do that with this, so I'm going to take 2 cards. Okay. Then this player, they want to get rid of this one. So they're going to transfer this one. Put the dice down here so I remember they go first. Then they're going to draw 3 randomly. because that's what they did earlier. We'll do it this same way. And they have, ooh, this is even worse. But if this creature would be transferred, each player transferring it, the player transferring it may choose a replacement from the top 5 cards of the owner's creature deck. So instead, that's kind of cool. It's not super strong, but it's going to let you look at 5 cards instead of 3. All right, so now we're done with that. Now we have to bet, the betting phase. We're going to bet starting with red because they are first player. So they think they may win this one. So black is going to say they're going to win this one. Red thinks they'll lose this one. Black thinks they'll lose this one. Red thinks this one will win. Let's see. So it's black's bet. I think this one may lose. Red is going to say this one's going to win. I say this one's going to win. Red is going to say this one's going to lose. And I think I'm going to bet on this one to lose. All right. So there's all the betting. Then we're going to start combat again. Starting with red player, we can look at some cards, see what we want to do. Let's see. They're going to play this card on one of... They're going to play this card on one of their opponent's creatures. It's going to cost them 1. They're going to put it on this one because it's strong. This is going to reduce their total combat strength by 2, and it's worth a negative 1 point. So they had to discard 1 card for that. And they're going to attack that with this one. So they're using this card. And let's see. This one has an ability. After you play an equipment card... Oh, didn't attach it to one of their creatures. Never mind. Alright, so they're going to use this one to attack this. This guy's going to say daytime so they can roll all their dice. Red gets to roll 2. They have a 3. That's not good. So gray is rolling all. So they have 6, but they have to -2 it because of the collar. So they are at a 4. They still win. So red said they won there. Black said it would win. Black said this one would lose. This one doesn't have to exhaust because it was the defender and it won. Oh, that was the wrong one. Whoops. So that one didn't win, so it doesn't get a token. This one doesn't have to exhaust, and that is it. Go on to the gray player. Let's see. I'm going to just try to play more points because I need more points. So I'm going to play some shiny trinkets like that. They're going to cost me 0. I'm just going to play them with my super shiny trinkets on this guy. And then I'm going to attack with this one. I'm going to attack that one. And they're going to pick, it doesn't matter, they pick daytime. I get to roll 2 dice. So I have 7. And they get to roll 1. They have 6. Almost pulled it out, but they didn't. So this one gets exhausted. I get a victory point card. And that's it. Back to red player. So red player has 1 card left that they can try to kill somebody with. Let's see. They are not going to play any cards because there's nothing good they want to play. So they're just going to attack. They're going to attack this one because it's the only active one. So I'm going to pick daylight. They can only roll 1. So they got a 5. I get to roll all 3 because daytime lets me roll all 3. I have 1, 4, 6, but I have -2, so I have a 4, so they win. All right, so this one's exhausted. They won. They get a victory point card. And then it's gray person's turn. Or black player, I guess. And they are going to play an exoskeleton on this one. That's going to let them re-roll a die after combat. And it also has a dominance effect, which I'll go into if it ever wins. And I have to discard 2 cards. I will discard these 2. And then I'm going to attack. I can't attack because they don't have any active creatures. So they're going to pass. I pass. And that'll be it. You're going to keep going like this until somebody has 20. And then whoever has 20 is the winner. Let's go up to the top, see what they think about it. All right, so that was Underleague. This is an interesting little card game. So essentially it's all cards. There's some dice rolling for combat resolution, as you saw in the video, or the playthrough. The interesting thing about this though is it's not just bring out some baddies, roll some dice. You're also playing equipment down, you're playing some of the scheme cards, and you're trying to maybe not even get strong characters out, but maybe just be the first one to get points really quickly. So maybe you'll sacrifice winning a couple rounds just to keep piling on points on your cards. So you got to just think, you know, you can just be successful at the betting, bet for a bunch of people to lose, and then they lose. And then you keep drawing cards to give you points, and then maybe by round 4 you have more points than the other guy and you didn't even win a battle. That's cool to me. Everybody knows I'm not the hugest fan of rolling dice for combat resolution. It's just not a thing that I dig, but in this game it works. I don't know how else you could do the resolution in this, since the creatures don't have their own values. So you're just going to get a creature that has a 0, 1, a 2, or a 3, and that's going to tell you how many dice you're rolling and which dice, and then whatever you roll is whoever wins. So maybe you can get some creatures that have some powers that let you re-roll. Tons of possibilities, tons of stuff you can do in this. It's a cool game. If you're into card games, you're into dice rolling combat, I say check it out. It's fun at all player counts. It doesn't really matter. You can just play up to 5, attack whoever you want. You can play 2, just duke it out back and forth. Cool game. I highly recommend it. That's Underleague. I'm Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and keep gaming.